same meal, the turkey and mashed potatoes, a hot meal.
And who cooked it?
You know, man.
Oh, my.
So I brought a refrigerator up and I hot dogs.
Are you telling me she didn't tell the story?
That's my idea.
No, I didn't.
I have an idea. I don't.
Oh, if we get done early, we'll take it off. Calvin, excuse me. Can't hear you.
We'd like to begin formally our
okay.
informational hearing at this point. We've called this meeting in order for questions to be answered about the budget. We've mailed out to the community a flyer which has the brief information about the budget. I think we probably want to deal with just your question. If there are any, we have to work very hard to understand the propositions. And the end result, I hope, would be at least a feeling in the community that we're open to discuss and trying to make it as clear as possible the importance of a vote on these 7 propositions next week so that people understand it's important to turn out and support them if we want to maintain the program that we have right now. Have you had a chance to look at the budget, or would you like us to review the 7 propositions?
Really, I have a question. I just want to see what's going on. But I understood.
I think, just for the record, it's worth at least repeating that probably the transportation aspect of those 7 propositions and the intercollegiate sports aspect are the 2 most important, because without those, students walk, which raises unsafe conditions, and it creates a whole series of things that I'm sure would lead to some aggravation and would divert us from paying attention to things that are more important. And to intercollegiate sports, to many kids, that's the thing that, for better or worse, is extremely important to them. And so they're going to the public school. Hopefully we'll be able to keep both those parts of the program by keeping these propositions passed. Here to at least add any thoughts you have about the first.
Okay. Just perhaps we'll back up just a little bit to indicate that recently the board adopted the austerity budget in the amount of about $7,095,000. And these 7 propositions would be in addition to what has been authorized by the Board of Education. To reiterate what Dr. Culver has indicated, we're concerned about the safety of students with regard to the pupil transportation proposition. And as we note in the budget materials made available, it is likely that more than 30% of our students would have to find their own way to school if this item is defeated. If the proposition is approved, transportation will continue for 84-5, much as it has in the past year. With regard to interscholastic athletics, a comment with regard to this item. The salaries of coaches are provided for in the austerity budget. This is in accordance with state law. The remaining portion of the budget for sports is in the proposition. This would include funds for supplies and materials, contractual expenses, for example, ice time, the fees for the officials, dues belong to the various sports organizations that conduct the sports program, this kind of thing. Of course, we feel very strongly about some of the other propositions as well. For example, the proposition relating to library books. The only thing that we can continue in the school budget, the austerity budget for 1984-5, would be items along the lines of magazine subscriptions where you want to continue a series. For example, an encyclopedia, where you want to continue and get the yearbook each year. We can provide for that and have provided for that in the austerity budget. However, any new purchases of library books, resource materials, this kind of thing, these are all grouped together in the proposition for library books. We feel strongly as well about the proposition relating to field trips. This is an important part of our educational program, provides some cultural experiences for our students, and we consider it more than just enrichment. It's really, to our point of view, a basic part of our program. I think those would be the major points that I'd like to make, Dr. Provo.
Yeah, I think the other thing that we were discussing earlier, and I think in the community has been discussed, is the apparent frustration from someone who, in trying to follow the budget process and so on, to realize that the budget that we proposed in the first place in May was so close to the state mandated budget, so that even by moving to an austerity budget, which we did in May, the difference amounts to $150,000 in what's around a $7 million budget. So it becomes a marginal difference, but that small amount is what can make a big difference because of the transportation aspect of the sport. So it's, I think it's important for people who are interested to talk to their neighbors and do as much as possible to try to get turnout people and support that and understand the importance of it. Do you have anything you would like to add?
Not really, Dr. Cole, you covered pretty much of it, but my concern, of course, is the same things that you mentioned, the interscholastic sports, and most of all, of course, the transportation, and that's not to diminish the importance of pupil supplies and equipment, and certainly the field trips. The hazard that would be created if transportation went down really is one that I don't even want to think about. But the problem that we have is that really over the years, the budget has been eroded by mandates. We have less and less actual money that the district controls. And when you have a budget defeated, of course, this is the way you have to do because these monies, the state says, are above and beyond the normal operation of the school. And I would certainly hope that the community would rally around and support it on behalf of the students of the district.
Right. Anything?
I think he's pretty much covered it. The big thing I'm concerned with is the busing.
Yeah, I think particularly the busing aspect will affect people in Champlain and Rouse's Point more so than particularly the far western end of the district, but certainly those areas around the elementary school, meaning 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old children walking in the wintertime to the elementary school and then to the high school. Of course, that's I guess most of Champlain and a good part of Rouse's Point, they have been walking together. Some of this may seem confusing and in fact a bit bizarre for some Republicans in trying to follow it, but it's a result of a hodgepodge of legislation and education law that's accumulated over the years. I think the board agrees that it's important that we do in fact have this consultation with the community and having a vote every year because it really reminds us to watch as closely as we can the total cost of the educational program. At the same time, there is concern that if we go to vote and the budget is voted down, people ask, well, what difference does it make? Because we're coming back to something that is so similar. And people have to understand that being in a part of New York State without a great tax base, we have an educational program that is, by and large, of good quality, but not much above what is mandated by the state. So it's very difficult to respond to things that may want to see a lower budget. We had already come in with the lowest possible budget. Those items that we're asking to be, which are by law optional, we're asking for some sort of support for, are really not a great deal of cost. It won't affect the tax base very much. It'll make a big difference to children if they have to walk into the sports program. I think in the information we provided, it's indicated that it would cost 62 cents per $1,000 of assessed valuation to provide that part of the pupil transportation as optional. And it will cost approximately, I get the notes here, 19 cents per $1,000 of assessed valuation to provide the in-flight sports program. Relatively small expenditure. But nonetheless, those expenditures are up now for the community enrollment.
Dr. Ford, I'd like to say say something relative to the sport or for the support of sports. Oftentimes, people feel that sports are a necessary activity or something that we can do without when push comes to shove financially. But it's one of the few things in the school that's really a hands-on experience for the student, except for maybe vocational education. It gives a child a chance to get out and really achieve or to be tested and challenged physically and to maybe reap some kinds of rewards in those what may seem to some people very small ways. And the sports programs are very integral parts of schools today. And unfortunately, what happens when they are not supported by the vote for the tax money, you have to resort to a booster club. And with the declining enrollments, you have less parents that are available now in the school than you did years ago. Society's changed, but more and more parents have less time because they're both working. And what ultimately happens is if a parent and a student feels strongly enough about the sports program and the district cannot offer it, they will seek an alternative, which is usually to attend a private school. And what happens there, of course, is that it's a case of the have and the have-not. The students who are so motivated and can financially afford it will probably do just that because it is important to him or her. And the students that might want to go but cannot afford it or maybe cannot go because of the distances or transportation will be the ones that are really penalized. And while certainly Northeastern does not send anyone to the Olympics, I'd like us to think of that at this time because most of the students coming out of the Olympics today were out of public education. There are students from Miss Fiuna and Shazy, and I think it's a very important part of the rounding out of a child's education today. So I would certainly ask the community to support that, certainly equally with all the other propositions. Thank you.
Any comments or anything we can pursue a bit further?
I'm sorry. Like I said, I understood.
Yeah. I suppose unless there was some other particular item or members of the media had any questions, things that your viewers would care to know about.
For myself, it'd be easier to deal with the individual ones than the
Well, then we will reconvene Monday, 7 o'clock at the high school in Champlain. And then the vote is on Tuesday from 2 until 9, junior high school in Champlain.
We take a moment to review the requirements for voting. In order to vote in a school election or at a special school meeting, you must be a citizen of the United States, 18 years of age, a resident within the district for a period of 30 days next preceding the meeting at which he or she offers to vote, and no prior registration is required.
Thank you for coming.